Hello, everybody, and welcome to Book It Vince, the dream match wrestling podcast on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Martin Bennett, and with me, as always, is the beast from the East, Antony Hall.
Yeah.
Can you guess whose moniker that is?
Is it the Great Khali?
No.
Oh.
That's Bam Bam Bigelow's nickname.
Bam Bam Bigelow is the beast from the East?
Yeah, he's the beast from the East.
Wow.
It's because he is originally from New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I am technically the beast from the West because I come from the province of Alberta, and we are here in Ontario.
The beast from the middle.
No, it's in the West. It's Western Canada.
It's west from here. It's in the middle of the country. I guess, technically. I don't know.
Manitoba's in the middle of the country.
Yeah, no one cares about them. Anyways, welcome to...
Hey, we love Winnipeg. The greatest people at wrestling who are Canadian come from Alberta and Manitoba.
It's very, very true. But welcome to Book It Vince. Every week we book a dream match of our choosing that we want to see. I just want to really quickly start off with this episode. Anthony, we basically predicted Hurricane Helms being in AEW.
It's insane.
At Full Gear. It's insane. Tony Khan, TK, as everyone calls him.
Tony
saw our podcast and went, I gotta get this guy. No.
Yeah. Get Helms on the phone.
What a crazy coincidence. No, but seriously, what a crazy coincidence that we released exciting. That episode of like, yeah, what if Hurricane Helms went to AEW, and then literally the week after he's in Full Gear.
Yeah, spoiler alert for Full Gear if you haven't seen it.
So crazy.
We won't tell you when he appears, but he does.
But you should seriously go watch that match because it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It'd be pretty crazy if he's there for more stuff, but it was probably just a cameo, but we'll see. But that was pretty funny.
It'd be awesome though.
All right, but we're going to get into it because we got a special episode this week. If you enjoy what we do here on Book It Vince, please like and follow, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And please also submit your viewer questions to our website where we post everything for the podcast, including our match recommendations over at our website, UnknownErrorFilms.com/BookItVince. And yeah, let's get into it. It's me. Right. It's me. So this one, it's not that complicated of a one. We had some crazy past episodes. Last week we had special guest Corey Birch on. That was a weird episode.
Limiting to myself to one snap camera change per episode. I choose.
It wasn't just that. Just the crazy matchup that he brought us of crazy, freaky characters. This one's very simple. And it's a story that I thought of and I went, that'd be crazy to watch. My matchup for you, Anthony, is Adam Cole, baby, versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh my gosh.
And this is my caveat. It happens now. And I have an idea for the story. I think I want it to happen now, and I have a specific idea for the story, but it'd be weird how it came about. And like my weird caveat too is that Adam Cole needs to be the baby face.
Okay. So Shawn Michaels is old.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know they did wrestle each other like on like an NXT house show. It was like broadcast it was a couple of years ago.
It was a while ago. I remember it was during when Drew McIntyre was the champion.
Yeah.
And then they had a championship match where I think Shawn was the special guest referee. But like the idea that I have is this, and I don't know how I came up with it, but it was this idea of like, what if, because if you're in kind of the wrestling world and you kind of know the behind the scenes of stuff, you kind of know that like Shawn is Adam Cole's like mentor, and like it's very obvious, like being in charge of NXT, he is kind of his mentor. He looks up to him. He looks up to Triple H as well, and he's basically learned so much from Shawn. What if Shawn turned on Adam Cole, and it was this master against the apprentice sort of thing, and it was that he turned on him, and it was like, you're being too soft, Cole. You've turned, because Adam Cole has been slowly making this face turn after being so long as a heel in NXT. And so I
because now he's kind of broken free from like doing awful heel stuff with Undisputed Era, because like the Undisputed Era is pretty like fragmented right now. They're kind of spread around.
Well, I think it's also just this thing of that. I think that Cole and some of the other members of Undisputed have reached this peak of like, people know that they're great wrestlers, and people know that they can do amazing matches and drive compelling, interesting stories, that now it's like, okay, well, they already did all the heel stuff. We want to cheer them on because we really like them. And so it's like, okay, so now you start putting them into being being faces. And you had that whole thing of Cole respectfully congratulating Finn Balor from beating him. And then you had Kyle O'Reilly facing Balor, and that was essentially two baby faces facing each other. So my idea is like, what if Shawn Michaels turns heel on Adam Cole as like, that's essentially the thought I had. Yeah. So it's like, what the hell would that story be?
Okay, so here's what I think could start that.
And it ends in a match between the two of them, which would be insane.
Yeah. So I think that our current world is a good place to start off, where like Adam Cole was like carried away by Ridge Holland, and then he got like ambushed by the new kings of NXT, the McAfee family.
Yeah. Not exactly what I was hoping for. I like all of them except for Pat. But
he's kind of growing on me. Like, I think because I'm a football fan, I've like appreciated Pat for his career as a like Hall of Fame punter and like as a on-air personality talking about football, and like his match at TakeOver really, really surprised me. Like,
it was surprising. I'll say this about him: he's a really good heel. He is a really good heel because he can talk.
Promo too. He's a great promo.
He can talk a lot of shit, and that's what annoys me. But yeah, I think it's a good start because you got him. All of them were put on the shelf. We don't know what's going to end up happening. It's probably going to be a War Games match.
Definitely,
because I think
definitely going to be a War Games match.
Because I think that's a quote unquote safe way to have. It's actually interesting. It's the same thing that happened with Dominic Mysterio. We're kind of getting off track here, but just a quick side tangent. It's kind of the same thing that it did with Dominic, where his first three matches, one was a singles match, and then he had a steel cage match and a hardcore match. And you're like, why would you do this to someone who's new to wrestling? It's like, because you can fall back on weapons and gimmicks to hide the fact that you're not a great wrestler.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what they're going to do with War Games, is because then you have 7 other dudes in the ring who can wrestle their asses off. And then you have Pat McAfee, who can do some moves, but will probably use the hardcore-ness of the match as a crutch to show stuff. So
yeah, and it's like how like Shane McMahon like does some moves, and like his main thing is just like doing stupid spots.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I feel like in a War Games match, Pat McAfee would like just do some crazy spots and like be incapacitated for a while like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch and Pete Dunne just like beat the shit out of everybody else.
So then I guess to have this real world scenario that is probably going to happen build into our fake scenario. So then should we just say that Cole versus Shawn Michaels happens after whatever is the result of this feud between Undisputed Era and the McAfee boys.
The Kings of NXT.
The Kings of NXT or whatever they're calling them.
Yeah, exactly. I actually think that like if it's a War Games match between those guys, that maybe the aftermath of the War Games match is that like Undisputed Era, the lot of them like Roddy and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly like walk away from Adam Cole because he's kind of like led them into this situation and they should lose. Like the Era should lose.
It's interesting. It in real life, I do wish that they are going to come out on top, but in a sense, at the same time, I do think that they are going to. It is going to be the breaking point, and I don't know if in real life what's going to happen is that they're going to split. And it's going to be like Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong versus Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. I think that's where it's going to take place, but it would be very interesting if it was this sort of like they lose and then the three of them blame Cole.
Yeah, exactly. And he's kind of like left. I think like it should end with Cole taking like a really crazy spot where he's incapacitated in the ring. And I think Shawn Michaels should like come out and like to check on him.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Like he like rushes because like then it's believable, right? That he like if like one of your top stars gets injured, like he's right, he's got to be running down.
Well, because they also did that when McAfee punted Cole, like when it was during their rivalry, because Shawn and Hunter came out and they were there and they're trying to separate them and they became very protective of their guy because obviously it's their guy versus this guy who's not in the company, and so obviously they're going to protect their own wrestler. But like I think just for my own sort of story's sake, I think what would maybe realistically happen is I don't think all of Undisputed Era would probably turn on Cole. I think that Kyle O'Reilly is in a place where he would just walk away.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm done. I'm going to do my own thing. While then Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong are like, screw you, Cole. You screwed this up for us. Because of you, they attacked us. Because of you, we didn't get our tag team belts back because of you, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
So then, I like that where it's like it ends and that would be a really memorable pay-per-view and finish is like Undisputed Era is officially broken up. They attack Cole. And then does it just end with this thing of Shawn coming out to check Cole, or is that where something happens? I think it might be too much.
It's too much if he like fucking sweet chin music's him in the face after he took a huge spot. Like I think what should happen is that
Cole would get so much get so much. What's the opposite of getting heat? Is there a term for that? I actually forget.
Well, I guess like just like he would get a big pop from the audience and like cheers.
Yeah,
like cheers is the opposite of getting heat.
Like I will say, just for the shock value, imagine that. Imagine just Adam Cole getting absolutely destroyed by his ex-team members. They leave. He's there left in the ring, and trying to get up, and then Shawn Michaels comes out, tries to help him up, picks him up, and then just kicks him in the face. For this, you would leave an arena full of people just like, it would be the Undertaker. It'd be the Undertaker guy, just like,
yeah. You know what? Maybe for the sake of this, because like we live in a dream match world, and that's what this podcast is. Like, let's do it.
Why not? Well, let's quickly do this. Let's do one to help, like, add more to this. Let's do one where just a quick idea of like, okay, so that could happen. What would be the aftermath of like if it didn't?
Okay, so if it didn't happen like that, I think Shawn Michaels goes in to check on Adam Cole, and like this is where we're gonna need Adam Cole to act. He's gonna have to ham it up that he's like so broken, and he's probably like getting like picked up, and he's like limping, and he's like crying a little bit.
That too is a good like thing to leave off of on a pay-per-view where you're kind of you feel really bad for Adam Cole. And you see him like trying, like he's broken and he's so destroyed at what happened. That's a good like ending as well. That's more of a like emotional ending rather than like a shock ending.
Yeah, because like I think like the final spot of this like crazy War Games match would be like everybody is like pretty much like on the ground from Undisputed Era, and they would drape Adam Cole over a table, and then Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch would go up onto like the top ropes. Pat McAfee would run in, like punt Adam Cole in the face, and he would just like be out, and then Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch would jump off the other sides and just like elbow drop or leg drop Adam Cole through a table, and then like maybe Pat McAfee just like steps on his chest and does like a Captain Morgan to like pin him.
Yeah.
And then they walk out.
Yeah.
So he's like crumbled, like he's folded in a table basically, and everybody leaves. Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong are just like, it's your fault. It's like, well, say something.
I mean, what would probably end up happening is they all like come together and maybe like Kyle is checking on Cole, and they either like lift the cage or something happens, and it's that thing of you have them all there, and this is a moment where like the crowd like cheers for Undisputed Era, and they're like,
yeah,
maybe it's not a thank you, but it's just like it's that thing of like, you guys have literally been the backbone of NXT for 5+ years now. And
do you think Fish and Strong would attack Kyle O'Reilly? Or do you think Kyle O'Reilly would just leave?
I think an argument would start setting in. Like everybody's cheering is like, thank you. And that's where you would have like the group of of the guys like pick each other up and walk their way to the back and stuff like that. But then as the twist is that then like Roderick is getting frustrated and Bobby Fish is trying to maybe like calm him down, and then the two of them are like, maybe Roderick's pointing at Cole and trying to convince Kyle like he's the reason why like we keep losing, or that we're not getting anywhere, or we're falling apart, and like and it's this thing of then like maybe then like he kind of can like visually, because obviously you can't always hear exactly what they're saying, but with their body language, and it's this thing then it's like he kind of like talks at Bobby Fish and like kind of convinces him, and then that's where like maybe Kyle is kind of like no like you don't know what you're saying, it's fine, we'll just get ourselves out of here. And that's where Roderick's like, no, like I'm not doing this anymore. Like
he just rips off the armband and throws it at Adam Cole, and then Bobby Fish is also whips off the armband and throws it at Adam Cole, and then maybe Kyle O'Reilly is like about to take it off, but he just decides not to and like walks out. And then Fish and Strong are also walk out, and Adam Cole is in a pile with the wristbands all over him.
I think it could be then that Cole is there. He kind of looks, maybe he's starting to come to, and he like looks up and he's kind of like just sort of shocked at what's going on. He's like, what's happening? And then that's where maybe Roderick sort of snaps, and then he like takes down Cole and starts just punching him. Maybe Fish tries to pull him off, and then that's where Roderick Strong's like, no, it's his fault. We need to do something about this. And then that's where then Fish is kind of like looks at the two of them, makes a decision, and then they both pick him up and do something to him just to capitalize on it.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then that's where they walk out to,
and then they take off the.
Well, no, I think they do it already. And everybody's kind of shocked at this moment, but then when they hit Cole, that's where everybody's shocked when Kyle leaves, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" And then, they throw off their undisputed wristbands and dog tags or whatever if they still have them.
Yeah.
But like they do that, and they're like, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" And then Kyle leaves, and they're like, "What's gonna happen?" And then when they hit Cole, that's where the two of them walk out to just a arena full of booze.
Yeah.
And then that's where everybody has sympathy for Adam Cole.
Yeah. And then Shawn Michaels runs down the Titantron and goes to the ring to check on Adam Cole and puts him on his shoulder. And then like the NXT logo comes up. And if we wanted, that's where the super kick would happen. But he's already suffered through enough. I think it's too much.
I think where the dividing possible, like choose your own adventure path of this story goes is, I think if the super kick were to happen there, you immediately go into the program of Shawn versus Cole. And that's where then I think what you would have throughout there, peppering little bits, is Cole having matches with his Undisputed Era, like ex-partners.
Yeah.
But then the whole thing is that Shawn is in the background kind of watching him. And I think that's where then it immediately goes to like Shawn being like, you're soft. You're a loser. I don't know why I ever... Like, because that's a whole other thing is we haven't really talked about why would Shawn even do this?
Yeah.
And I think it is this thing of like, he's like, you were a leader and now you're a loser. I don't know why we ever put stock into you. I don't know why you were the longest reigning NXT champion. You were supposed to continue being the longest reigning NXT champion. And then you've lost and you've just kept losing. And now you're fighting dudes like Pat McAfee who don't even belong here. And then that's the whole.
Yeah. I like that. I like that he saves the Sweet Chin Music. He doesn't do it right away. And the following weeks are like Adam Cole.
Well, that's what I'm saying is there's the two dividing paths is where if he kicks him right at the end of the pay-per-view for super shock value, that immediately goes into that. But if we save it and it goes this way, I think then you you have a long drawn out program. You have a program of Cole versus the others.
Yeah. I like that. I like that better. So then, let's say that happens.
And then eventually it hits this point of.
Yeah, exactly.
What we're getting.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's say like after the first NXT TV, it's like, so the person who hit Adam Cole first was Roderick Strong. So it would probably be Roddy versus Adam Cole. And you would probably have Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly like ringside.
Who would be the one to speak up first? Would we want Cole to speak up first, or would we want Roddy and Fish to speak up? Is it a point of having the heels give their reasoning to why they attacked and just giving them boos? Because usually it's one of two things. It's either you have, especially in WWE, you either have the heels come out and try to give their evil reasons why they decided to do what they did, and you boo them, and then the face comes out and attacks them or tries to get their revenge or something, and everybody cheers. Or you have the flip of that where it's the face comes out and can't believe what just happened. You get a lot of support behind them, and then the heels come out and they do something, or they retaliate with their words to then start up this conflict.
Yeah, I think it's the face coming up first. So I think Cole comes out and he tries to apologize. Like, I think he's like, I failed you as a leader. It's my fault that we got involved with Pat in the first place, and I'm sorry that it cost you your championships, and I want to make things right because NXT is undisputed, and without Undisputed Era there is no NXT. And then they come out and it seems like maybe Roderick has cooled down a bit and Bobby Fish is with him, and Kyle O'Reilly comes out as well, and then Roderick Strong just like hits a like backbreaker on Adam Cole. And then then a match would be set, I guess, for the following NXT TV between Roderick Strong and Adam Cole.
Could it be a thing where Fish and Roderick come out and Kyle's not there?
Maybe.
And then, well, I mean, I think then you could easily get a couple of different matches out of it where you have like Roddy come out and Fish, and maybe they come out and to be really heelish, you have them like, it looks like they're going to accept the apology, and then they just end up attacking him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's where then Kyle runs out to stop them. But it's the kind of thing where he comes out and stops them, but he's like Cole is kind of like gets up and like goes to thank him, but then he kind of just walks away, where it's like, I came out to be nice. I don't know if I'm with you. Like,
yeah,
we shouldn't be fighting. Let's just like that sort of a thing, where it's this
I
weird like tensions and everything.
Yeah,
so
I like that. Yeah, so
because eventually you could get a tag team match out of it, or you could get a couple of different singles matches.
Well, I think it does lead to a tag team match. I think like Kyle O'Reilly does come around, and then you get Fish and Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and then I think Adam Cole.
No, go defense.
I think Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly have to lose, and then Kyle O'Reilly turns on Adam Cole as well to really abandon him.
I mean, yeah. For me, I feel like I feel like there's already so much against Adam Cole, and we're gonna put even more onto it as soon as like one of the legends of WWE is gonna turn on him. I think
the way it builds is that like Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, like they win this match, and maybe instead of turning, Kyle O'Reilly just walks away again.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it is an abandonment thing, but I don't think it's a heel screw you. It's they lose, and then maybe Kyle is just sort of like, because Kyle is very animated, which I love about him. He's very good at emoting how he's feeling in his wrestling and then also in his acting. And maybe it's just a thing where they're both sitting there at the end, and Kyle is just sort of like, sorry, and just walks away.
He walks away. Yeah. And I think this will lead to like, I think after that, like Adam Cole's like needs to be put into like some sort of title picture or like some sort of journey to show that his like baby faceness, and that I think like Shawn Michaels sees that his star is without like the rest of his faction. So he like pushes them to like maybe like the North American title picture. Well, so he is like fighting people and losing.
Right. Okay. I think that's a good one thing that I think would be really, really, really good is, so yeah, you do have this tag team match. I think then because Kyle bans him, I think then at the next takeover, you have Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong, just because Roddy's probably going to be the one. Whenever we bring up Undisputed Era, I always have to say, no offense to Bobby Fish, but Bobby Fish is not a main player. He is he is a great support. He's a great good hand in a good way, not in a bad way. He's great to be there because he's an amazing wrestler. But he's not probably going to be one of the people that he doesn't talk a lot. And it's probably a good thing because he's better with his actions than he is with his words. And so I think you have Roddy being the mouthpiece in this 2-person thing of turning on Cole. And yeah, they beat the two of them. But then I think like Cole is like, Roddy, I want you one-on-one. You're the reason why you guys turned on me. Like, you know, have that continued storytelling of Roddy at the end of War Games being like, screw this guy, whatever. And they have
long-term booking too. It's long-term booking too, because Roderick Strong was the last person to join the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
He was not a part of the original 3.
Yeah.
He joined and then they became great. So I think he, in his mind, thinks that he's the reason why Undisputed Era is so good, because he completed the team.
Yeah, that's good.
So for him to be like, okay, well, like we obviously don't need you anymore, Adam Cole, because we've been losing. You got us into this feud. You can't even win a tag team match.
Yeah.
Like it's clear that I'm superior with Bobby. And then he's like, Adam Cole is obviously like, oh no, like I want you one-on-one. I'll prove to you that I have been like the ace of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah. And Cole puts over Roddy.
Yeah.
And it starts to shoot him towards like maybe an NXT championship run.
Give it to him. Give it to Roddy.
So, and I think that at a takeover would be a great like cap on at least that chapter of this.
Yes.
Because then you really feel bad for Adam Cole. And it's like, what is he even going to do next? Where is he even going to go? And it could be this thing where then Shawn kind of injects himself into it, where he's like, I've been there. Like this is where he can be like, you know, me and Hunter turning on each other.
Like
me,
DX.
Yeah. Me, you know, the relationships I've had with people and I had to go on my own, or, you know, I wasn't the greatest towards my friends, and then I was abandoned and I had to try to find what I wanted to do. And then he's, you know, Cole's trying to get himself back up to feeling confident. And Shawn is kind of there every step of the way. And maybe like Cole has a match with someone, you know, maybe like I don't know, it'd be good. Maybe like a Cameron Grimes or someone of that like mid-tier NXT area, and like this is where then you could have Michaels on commentary being like why, and you have, you know, you have the commentary team asking why he's helping him out, what does he see in Adam Cole, and, you know, why has he supported him for all these years, and you start building this sort of like kind of Cody with Arn Anderson sort of thing with Cole and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. And I think Shawn Michaels sees a lot of himself in Adam Cole, just because, like, yeah, they're very similar in terms of like certain moves and, like, you know, the character and stuff like that. So I think he sees Adam Cole as a younger version of himself, and he's like watching Adam Cole kind of go through the same errors as he did in his early career, and he wants to be there to support him coming out of like a big group that pretty much defined the majority of his career his career in WWE. So he's like trying to like nurture him to be like a solo star.
Yeah, and so then it's maybe this thing of like, yeah, Cole picks up a couple of really good wins, and then maybe it's this thing of like, oh, try to get him to the North American Championship again.
Yeah.
And you know, right now it's Johnny Gargano's the champion. It could get up to that because they have a big history. Like Cole and Gargano, they have a big history, so maybe it gets up to that point where Cole gets a challenge Gargano. And it's so interesting now because it's the flip. Gargano's the heel and Cole's the face.
Yeah.
So
then I think, yeah, that is going to be the match where
Shawn turns on him.
Shawn turns, because he like gets him to this point, and it's like, it's this breaking point of like, if you win and you can be a champion without the Undisputed Era, and you beat Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, for this title, it like solidifies you as like a star in your own right. But if you lose, then it's like you've peaked. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I can't put anything more into you because I've given you this opportunity. I've watched you grow, and like, this is your ceiling. Like, you're going to be nothing more than a guy who challenges for titles without Undisputed Era.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So he has to lose. He has to lose
100%.
to Johnny Gargano. Johnny.
It would help Johnny a lot. And I think it would actually be an amazing ending to a match. It would be honestly, it's a thing where it's like the story in my mind is like it's takeover main event worthy, just because we know what's going to happen. But it's so interesting because I guess the North American title has not been a main event for takeover yet. I don't know. I can't remember. The last couple, it's been last couple, there's only been one since, but like, what was it? Takeover 30 was that Kyle O'Reilly? No, Takeover 30 was Takeover 30 was Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. And then the only takeover after that was Halloween.
1 second, I gotta plug in my headphones.
Oh, a little bit of technical difficulties while I figured this out. I'll just ramble here. Hi, audience. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
I just have to.
Okay, never mind.
I just have to plug them in because it was running out of battery.
No, so right. So Takeover 30 was Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. Takeover 31 was O'Reilly versus. I'm just talking about the main events.
Finn Balor
versus Finn Balor, and then Halloween Havoc. The main event was the women's championship.
Yes.
Yeah. So we haven't had a North American Championship be. It would be really crazy if they did the flip of like maybe the opening match is the NXT Championship.
Why not? Yeah, sure.
And then it's like Cole versus Gargano. This used to be an NXT Championship. It'd be very interesting to be like, why is it the main event? And maybe it's that they build up this really heated tension of like they have this long-standing rivalry and they play back all the old clips of like how they started out and how they've gotten this far. And wouldn't it be a crazy ending, not just with the swerve that we're about to do, but with the excitement of Johnny Gargano cleanly beating Adam Cole? Or maybe it's a heel move, but whatever. It just how crazy you'd have Johnny just being like, I just beat Adam Cole. Like, yeah. Like it'd be, you could have such a good heel, just like moment of him coming out of that, just being shocked that he did it. Because like, yeah, he beat Adam Cole at one time, but like, it's a different situation where he's just like, oh my God, I did. And everybody's kind of like, crap, Johnny just cleanly beat Adam Cole.
Yeah, but that's important because it makes us think like, oh, is Gargano by himself better, like a better wrestler than Adam Cole by himself? And it's proven in this match, like at this point in time, yes. Like Johnny Gargano is somebody who you can push and is like a real champion, whereas Adam Cole without Undisputed Era is just somebody who is good enough to challenge, but not good enough to be the champion. Which brings us to Shawn Michaels coming in and obviously trying to console Adam Cole as he did after the War Games match. And he's like, you know what? It's okay. This is all you're meant to do. And it's like, what? And he's like, that's it. Like, this is like, he just says like, maybe this is it for you. And then Sweet Chin Music's him in the face.
That's crazy. Like just I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Watching like, cause that was the image that first initially hit me when I was just like trying to think of interesting matches. And I was thinking of who we haven't done yet and where people are in their stories and stuff. And yeah, I just thought of this moment of like Shawn Michaels kicking Adam Cole and turning on him. And I thought I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
If I saw that.
It'd be crazy. Well, especially the way we've built it up, right? That Shawn Michaels is so invested in Adam Cole because he sees a younger version of himself. He sees the mistakes that he made being repeated in Adam Cole. And now it's like, it's come to this point where he's like, I can't help him.
Yeah.
He's as good as he's going to be.
It would be so hard. It would be so hard for people to boo Shawn.
Yeah.
I would just hope that in this story, you've built up Cole so much to be a baby face that then the second that someone turns on him, you're just like, how could you turn on Adam Cole? He's the greatest.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, Shawn turned on Adam Cole. What does this mean?
Yeah, man.
And then and that's where then you have Shawn come out and he delivers a promo that basically says that, like, yeah, exactly what you said, where he's like, he hit his ceiling. He's not needed anymore. We don't need him in NXT.
Exactly.
Like, you can try to take back your championships. You can try to hit your top again, but you're never going to be as good as you were without your friend, without your ex-friends, without your team.
Yeah.
You're not good on your own. You never were good on your own.
Yeah. 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 You're not good alone. You never were good alone. Yes. Yeah.
It's just think of just driving the knife in, just digging it in just even like when we plucked you from obscurity and like we took you from the indies. It's like, yeah, it's the thing of people have been turning their back on you for years, and it's just, and maybe be a crazy good moment of like referencing Bullet Club in some way where it's like, you've had people turn their backs on you for years for better people.
Yeah.
And that's just, and if you know, he's referencing when the Bucks turned on him for Marty Scurll, and you're like, oh my God.
And then, and you're like, and Shawn Michaels in the role that he's in, he's like, there's people who are hungrier than you, that are more talented than you, that are younger than you. They're knocking at my door, asking for an opportunity. And I gave those opportunities to you because I believed in you, but you didn't believe in yourself and you were not capable of doing this.
I got goosebumps.
I've wasted my time on you.
Yeah.
You're just a vanilla midget. And it's just it's like the difference between you and me is after I left DX, I was able to be a star by myself. You, without Undisputed Era, is nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then Adam Cole
has to
come out and he has to be like, I'll prove to you.
Oh, well, I mean, imagine if then you just have this really sad interview with Cole. Like, I would honestly, what would like tug at my heartstrings is Shawn delivers that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Cole comes out. He just stands on the ramp and he just looks at him and like he starts crying.
Yeah.
And he just like shakes his head and walks away. And then like either later in the night or the next week, it's like a sit down interview or something with Cole. Maybe the next week. Yeah. It's a sit down with Adam Cole and it's like, what's going through your mind? And this is where then Cole can be like, I looked up to Shawn so much. And I know that I've been, because what good faces do is if they lose, they look at what they've done. They say like, I know that I've done wrong. I know that I haven't been great. I know that I failed, but I just keep getting back up because I had people around here that support me and support everything that we do. And then it just gets into this emotional thing of like him emotionally being like, what is it? Why does it hurt to have Shawn turn on you? And that's where then it could be this thing of like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't know how I'm going to do it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove to Shawn Michaels why I deserve I don't know exactly what I'm saying, but like what I'm trying to say is like, he says why he deserves to be Adam Cole and why Adam Cole is Adam Cole.
And why he deserves to be in the limelight and to get the opportunities he does. He's like, I'm going to earn it again. And this time I'm going to do it the right way. So maybe, you know how, like, when I was just saying, like, Adam Cole is like, there's newer, better, stronger, hungrier people that want opportunities. I think it would be smart for Adam Cole to wrestle those people, like, one by one, like these up and coming people, and just like squeak by, just like barely win a bunch of times.
Right.
To the point where it's like, is this enough for you, Shawn? Like, I've proven that I'm a fighter, that I'm not going to give up. And I've taken all of these new shiny toys, these talents that you said were hungrier and better than me. And I've shown you that I am still at the top of my game.
I think you could have really good matches of like, say like Cole versus Kushida.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good match. That'd be like a respectful. Well, actually, I don't really know where they're taking Kushida, but like say.
Me neither.
Well, it's because it seems like they're trying to do the Unleashed sort of thing where like that, like his style before NXT, where he was kind of more just hard hitting and and kind of didn't care. But like you could have a really good like respectful match between the two of them. A good heel, who would be a good heel to have against him? That's kind of like everybody turn your back. I mean, I always default to Cameron Grimes, but Austin Theory, I guess it would be another good one where it's
Austin Theory is a good young guy that he could wrestle and beat, and then like he could get in like a crazy. But it would be it's a heel who is good on the mic, who would be like. Basically bash Adam Cole and be like, everybody's turned on you. Like, Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Oh, and Timothy Thatcher would beat the shit out of Adam Cole, and Adam Cole could he could still win, but it would be a match that would take it out of Adam Cole if Timothy Thatcher was kind of a mini boss to get to Shawn Michaels. Is he's I've come here, and by this time he's Timothy Thatcher, I guess, has been in NXT for about a year and a bit, or almost two. He's I'm hungry for the title. I've shown that I can destroy people. Look what I did to Riddle. He's just up in SmackDown doing nothing, and
he's on Raw now.
Oh right, he's on Raw being a clown, and I'm still here grinding. And it's and I'll take care of you just like I took care of him, and you'll be gone from NXT when I'm finished with you. And obvious, and then Cole wins. It's a hard hitting match.
It's just getting more force behind Cole. And I think what would be good long term booking elements during this is sure, you have the heels that he faces brings up and it annoys him, and so he kind of it annoys him to the point where it's what's helping him drive to be better and drive to win. But then you have but it's this thing of maybe after the first match or something, Cole is really proud of himself when he cuts a mini promo or he answers a question backstage or something like that, where he's just I know I can do better. I want to keep fighting people. Just bring me next week. I expect to be against someone even better. And it's that. But then the next week, the next fight, he beats him. And then maybe it's a thing where he quickly looks into the camera or something, goes up to the hard camera or something, and is just how'd you like that, Shawn? And just little pokes and stuff. And then maybe,
is that good enough for you, Shawn? Is that good enough? And it just is getting more, not worse, but it's kind of getting more intense, where then he has a crazy match against Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher. And that's where he's either cuts a promo or something, or it is this thing of go ahead, throw whoever you want at me, Shawn. I don't care. I'm proving to the world who Adam Cole is. And it just those little hints of it keeps telling the story. And then I think it's the thing where he has this takeover match against someone. And he wins, and everybody's Adam Cole. And then Shawn just comes out of nowhere and super kicks him. Okay. Should it be Kyle O'Reilly that he beats at TakeOver? He's bring whoever you want. I've beaten everybody that you've sent to me, and there isn't anybody that is hungry enough, who deserves an opportunity, who has been left in the shadows.
I think so. And I think it could be a respectful match. I think it's this thing where Cole just comes out on top, and it's this thing where it's these two dudes who have worked together for so long, were really good friends. Maybe they aren't working together now, but they respect each other. And it's this thing of or hold the phone. O'Reilly beats Cole.
Oh God!
But he just beats him.
Okay.
He just beats them. He just beats them, and Cole. It looks like he's about to be defeated, but then he goes up to Kyle, and he's just you know what? Congratulations! And
it's your time.
They shake hands. They hug. He lifts his arm. All this stuff. Kyle gets out of the ring, is walking up the ramp really happy and excited, and he's just and they're just looking at each other, and Kyle's just I respect you, I respect you, it's that sort of moment, and Cole's kind of staying there, or maybe even Cole gets out of the ring to let Kyle celebrate in the ring, right? And Cole's making his way up the ramp, and he's clapping for him, and then he turns around on the ramp, and then boom,
Twitch music, baby,
and then and that's where then it's again. You had your opportunity. You came up short.
You always come up short. You always come up short. And I'm sick of it. It's an I quit match. No.
but maybe he does it and everybody's oh my God. And then Kyle's kind of just standing there, not sure what to do. And then Shawn grabs a microphone and just is standing over like the knocked out body of Adam Cole. And that's where he says, like, you always come up short, kid.
Yeah.
And that's where it's you don't deserve this. You don't deserve anything. Get out of my I don't want to see you in NXT anymore.
Yeah.
And whatever. And then
is this
no, what I was gonna say is he says I don't want to see you in NXT anymore.
Yeah.
The next week we don't see
Adam Cole.
I don't think we see him at all the next week. And this whole thing of like, did Adam Cole actually leave? Where is he? Was he in the hospital? All this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think the week after, Shawn, I don't know what Shawn exactly would be doing. Maybe he's announcing something. And then that's where Cole comes back and attacks Shawn.
Yeah.
And then that's where it kind of brawls out. And then this is where then maybe it's this weird, crazy thing of like, what does William Regal do with the fact that one of his top guys and the fucking executive producer of NXT are fighting each other, and he doesn't know what to do with them. And so it's like, and maybe it's this crazy segment backstage where it's like Shawn and William Regal, and maybe Shawn like tries to pull something over William Regal, or like tries to like strong arm him into something where it's where William Regal is like, the only thing I can think of is putting you two, and we have to settle this because we can't keep having this animosity or this happen around backstage. And I know that you're one of the people in charge around here, but we can't just keep having this. And then that's where maybe Shawn, to get a bit more heelish, is like, well, what are you going to do about it, William?
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
It's like, I'm retired. And you know,
yeah.
And then that's where William Regal would be like, but you can't go around kicking, injuring your own superstars, willy-dilly. And that's where maybe he like is like strong arming him and to be like, you can't do anything. I'll do what I want around here. And then maybe something happens where they brawl again. Like, then maybe it's this thing where Cole got carted away, or no, he shows up again. It's the Steve Austin get him in handcuffs kind of thing. He comes back. Yeah. He comes back at the end of the show. They attack each other. And William Regal does his classic, comes out and goes, "All right, we're gonna settle this."
We're
gonna settle this weekend at NXT Takeover, whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels in a street fight, or something.
Loser leaves NXT.
Yeah.
So either way we book it, it could work because so they're fighting. They're like, and William Regal's just like, stop this. Like, it's like, you're ruining the show. It's like, yeah, I can't have this. Settle this like men in the ring. This Saturday takeover in a loser leaves NXT street fight.
That'd be crazy.
And that's it. So Regal's fucking yelling and being crazy in his power suit. And
it's what he's good at. It's what he's good at.
Yeah. So he's absolutely just like irate that this keeps happening, and that like all these resources are being used to like stop Adam Cole, and Adam Cole still somehow makes it in and kicks Shawn Michaels.
Well, it's that Shawn is forcing William Regal to do these things to keep Adam Cole away. Yeah. When then William's like, well, he's still a wrestler. He's still on the roster. He's still allowed to be here, but
he's employed by NXT.
Yeah. And so it just keeps happening. And then finally it's like, that's it. I'm making the call. And then maybe Shawn is pissed at William Regal. He's like, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe it's this thing where, it's this building tensions of then online and in all the promo stuff and like the pre-show or something. It's like, they can explain, because that stuff you don't really need to have on TV. You could have that as extra stuff and online content where it's like the reason why they bring Shawn out of retirement for it, or maybe it's an unsanctioned match, even where it's like technically this isn't a real. It's an unsanctioned match, but both people are agreeing that if they lose, they'll leave
NXT.
Yeah,
leave NXT, which means like if Adam Cole goes over, which I mean, I think at this point he should.
Yeah.
Then Shawn Michaels is just not the executive producer of NXT
Well,
anymore.
he just doesn't show up on TV anymore.
Yeah. Well, and he can obviously in real life outside of kayfabe, still executive produce NXT, but like in kayfabe, they could be like, oh, he becomes the general manager of SmackDown or some shit like that.
Well, he in real life, actually, he's been heavily involved in. He's been producing NXT UK.
Oh, great!
Well, actually, he's been doing. I actually think they put him in charge of it because from all the videos and stuff that I've seen of like them hyping up the return of NXT UK and all this stuff, and they also did a watch along match where they had a bunch of superstars watch the Walter versus Ilya Dragunov match.
Yeah.
And so he was watching it and he's talking about how they like how working with them has been great, working with NXT UK. So I think what they did was, honestly, side tangent, what I think they did was they're like, well, Hunter Triple H does this for NXT. Why don't you go do that for NXT UK?
Yeah. Great. So in the storyline, he'll lose.
Yeah.
And we'll banish him from North America and send him to the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So this brings us to the main event. I think this is a main event match.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a lights out, unsanctioned loser leaves NXT match. So that it being unsanctioned automatically just is like, all right, so now weapons.
Oh, yeah. Anything goes.
Yeah.
I think a good way to have the storytelling is that like Shawn is trying to get out of this.
Yeah.
And so then it's a thing of like Adam Cole is in the ring. They call the match. And Shawn's not coming out. And then maybe it shows a backstage video of him, you know, farting around or something like that, trying not to come out or whatever. Or Cole he gets tired of it and he goes, you know what, screw this. And then he runs backstage and just starts going around being like, Shawn, I'm gonna find you, we're gonna settle this, blah blah. And then Shawn attacks him from behind.
I think he like, yeah, he's like, he sees that Shawn Michaels is like maybe like he has like his like rolly suitcase thing and he's like going towards the outside of the garage to like maybe get in a car or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Cole is just like runs through. He's like, Shawn, and then he's like looking for him. And of course, that is when immediately to start the match, a sweet chin music to the face.
Oh yeah,
just like out of nowhere, just.
And then Shawn starts throwing him into stuff backstage and into boxes and all this stuff, and they slowly make their way back to the ring. Yeah. Where it's then like, you know, it's the classic street fight backstage brawl sort of a thing where, you know, one guy's really getting over, throwing him into stuff, and then there's a moment where it turns around and then Cole will get his hits in and stuff, and you know, maybe there's a trash can or
I think like Shawn Michaels puts like one of Adam Cole's legs, like it's like kind of dangling by the steps, and he like rams the steps like onto his leg so that he like can't hit his finisher, like because he would have to do like it would be incredibly painful for him to like do his flying knee shining wizardy the last shot. Essentially, like it would be really, really painful for him to do a bare knee last shot to like end the match if his leg has been targeted the whole time.
Yeah.
He's been like hit with chairs and kendo sticks and
it would
by the steps.
It'd be a thing of that Cole knows, or no, sorry, that Shawn knows like I'll just keep damaging his legs because even then he can't because I mean a crazy spot would be they super kick each other.
Yeah. Oh, and they absolutely will.
But it's the thing of like he's trying to damage him, so he can't be able to do that. And I mean, this is where it's all up to what Shawn would be able to do, which I don't think would be much. But in our dream world, you gotta get chairs involved, you gotta get kendo sticks involved. Table would be great. If Adam Cole friggin' did a Panama is it sunrise or sunset? I forget. If he does that, his version of the Canadian Destroyer to Shawn Michaels into a table, that would be nuts.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably the final spot. Like you don't think he's gonna be able to do it because his leg's been targeted so much, and then he gets it, and he hits him, and he doesn't pin him. He's like he waits till Shawn Michaels like kind of gets up, and then he takes off his knee pad, and he's like kind of limping, and then he hits him with the last shot, and then pins him.
Oh, you know, it'd be really, really great and super just fan service for the marks out there. Is imagine he does the Panama, what is it called? I want to know. But imagine he does his destroyer, right?
Yeah. I think it's the Panama City Sunrise. I think that's what it's called. And if I'm wrong, then God damn it.
Panama Sunrise.
Okay. All right. Great.
Imagine he does the Panama Sunrise to him, puts him down. Yeah. And everybody's just going nuts. Because they're just like, pin him. And Cole makes his way to his feet. And Shawn's kind of just like slowly milking it and trying to get up. And then Cole pulls down his knee pad, and he just looks at him, and they do a nice close up on his face, and he's crying, and he just goes, "I love you." Bam!
Yeah. He does the Ric Flair spot.
Yeah. Just the Ric Flair. Yeah. He says, "I love you," or he says, "I'm sorry." No, he says, he says, "I'm sorry." That's what it was. He says, "I'm sorry." Boom. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great ending.
That's great, man. That's fucking awesome. So
I don't know what other crazy spots would be in there, but I just think a hard hitting, like you. What's sad is that you probably couldn't have. I don't know. Would you want Adam Cole to kick out of the Sweet Chin Music?
No, probably not.
No. So it'd just have to be like Shawn looks like he's about to do it a bunch of times, and then Adam Cole rolls out or maybe manages to get something up in time, like has a chair kind of dangling his hand. He turns around and puts up just in time to block it or something like that.
And for Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music, a chair is like, I'd be like, oh damn.
But like, I think another great moment would be Adam Cole doing Sweet Chin Music to Shawn, but obviously then Shawn kicks out of it.
Kicks out, yeah. Like it'd be like a 1 count. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that final spot though, it would be pretty devastating to echo that Ric Flair spot after the Panama Sunrise. He waits for him to get up so that they can like look at each other, and then he says, "I'm sorry," bounces off the rope, hits him with the last shot. 1, 2, 3, and then then it's this kind of thing of like, okay, well, this guy came over, like you have Adam Cole winning. Is it a thing of like, obviously you don't have Shawn turn face immediately, but it's this moment probably where you have the two of them, and Shawn respects Cole enough to like maybe shake his hand, something like that. I don't think that they would wholly embrace or something like that. No,
but I think it is a moment of sign of respect, and then that's where Shawn like gets out of the ring, walks up the ramp. Everybody is cheering. Maybe even it's a thank, or maybe it's just like a thank you, Shawn, or something like that, or whatever.
And then it like the closing moments of that have to be like as Shawn like goes up the ramp and is like, then Adam Cole goes to the center of the ring and is like, Adam Cole, baby. Yeah. And then NXT logo comes up, and that is it. That's it.
I'm happy.
That's great. That was awesome. Yeah, that's so great.
That's so, yeah. No, when I came up with the idea, I was like, that would be nuts. It's never gonna happen, but that would be nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I do think a lot of the stuff that we probably talked about is going to happen in terms of like Undisputed breaking up, but yeah, I just thought like it's this master versus apprentice sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Where, you know, what if, like, because even, maybe it's a future episode, but what if like Cody faced Arn Anderson? What would that match be? I know Arn definitely can't.
Much less entertaining than Shawn Michaels facing Adam
but it's
Cole.
that sort of thing of like, you have well-respected person facing younger talent, passing of the torch, and
Yeah.
and just all the emotion that you could have there would be crazy. But there you go. There was Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels. Book it, Hunter.
Adam Cole, baby.
There we go. There's the one. There's the one snap cam.
You gotta screen cap that. Adam Cole, baby.
Nice. There we go. But yeah, there's Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels. Book it, Hunter. I guess
Book it, Hunter.
Book it, Triple H.
Yeah.
Let us know on social media or in the comments of the video version of the podcast. Or I guess there might be some podcast apps that have comments. Anyways, let us know how you would have booked Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels. And who you think would come on top and what the story would be. Let us know. So yeah, we have viewer questions. And this week we only have one viewer question, but we'll get into it. You can always ask questions either on our social media when we make a post asking for people to submit questions. You can send us a question really anytime on our Facebook or on our Twitter. But you can also submit questions on our website, UnknownErrorFilms.com/bookitvince. And our question this week, Anthony, is, in your opinion, which wrestler needs to either be unmasked or needs to have a mask? And so I think what the main thing there is, like, you know, there's some people who have been really good underneath kind of like I could even take that a step further. Instead of literally being a mask, it could be under a specific gimmick, or that they need a gimmick to help them be more successful. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is there are different ways to approach this. I think when Ricochet debuted, he should have been masked.
Just like back in NXT, or
yeah.
Okay.
Because he is not fantastic on the mic, it's easier to make him like a bit more mysterious, and like, since he is doing like the superhero thing, like it makes sense for him to have a mask. And then a person I think who should lose their mask or would benefit from not having one is
mask is a weird term.
Yeah,
because it's like you look at someone like Rey Mysterio and you're like, I mean, but it's Rey Mysterio, mask or no mask, it's his character. Yeah. Even like the Lucha House Party, like their characters are kind of just generic in that way, where it's like they don't really have like I guess they haven't really been given the opportunity to really like have their personality of their character like stand out.
Oh wait, take the mask off of Dominic Dijakovic. Like, you should be in Retribution. Like, he can be T-Bar still, but like, don't unmask it, man.
Right? Yeah.
Unmask all of them. Like, why can't they all just be unmasked like Ali? Like, I get he's the leader and stuff like that, but like, you're wasting this man. He's amazing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm just waiting for the moment that they do unmask them, and then it's this kind of like really bad sort of like the commentary team is just like, oh my god, that's Dio Madden.
We know, yeah, former commentator Dio Madden, my colleague.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what about you, Marty? Do you have any ideas of anybody who should be unmasked?
I mean, when I read the question, it makes me think of like who's like in terms of gimmicks, I guess. Like who has a gimmick right now that's not really working for them. I'm really happy that to see what happens with Chad Gable, because he, I guess, dropped the Shorty G thing, but then we haven't seen him on TV since.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, and because it ever since they debuted the Shorty G gimmick,
oh, so bad.
He really just like, no, make him be a professional wrestler, please, for the love of God.
I feel so bad for him.
I'm really excited to see what happens when eventually Wardlow turns on or like leaves MJF. That'll be interesting. Who should deserve like a gimmick or something? It's funny because you're basically saying like, who's kind of really just blah right now? Who needs something more exciting for their character?
Cedric Alexander would have been a prime candidate for this.
Yeah, he would have, but like him being in
he's in the Hurt Business now.
Hurt Business was a great choice. Choice. It's hard to say. I guess. Oh, geez. This is really tough. I mean, it's a thing of like who just deserves a push, really. But then, like, what gimmick would you even give them? I'm really sad that they've broken up the whole heavy machinery stuff. Like, let's put Mandy over here. Let's put Tucker over here and not do anything with him and have him be squashed every week now. Let's have Otis be over here and no one cares about him anymore because we're bored of him. It's like, give him back the like stupid sort of hardworking funny guy stuff and just have him be there to be entertaining instead of giving him all this drama, which they're not good at. Like they broke up the team and there was all this drama. Give him back the funny and put him in like a mid-card deal or something. I don't know. Like, imagine Otis versus Sami Zayn. Wouldn't that be a fun rivalry?
Imagine El Gran Gordo versus Sami Zayn.
Put him I mean, actually, there's another quick thing. It would be interesting if all of a sudden Sami Zayn lost, went away for a month, came back as his old gimmick of Generico, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Don't know if it would ever happen, but it would be crazy.
But yeah, I guess let us know who you think kind of needs a change in their character. I guess that's more of the generic question. Is who needs to change in their character? Who needs to be unmasked or who needs to be masked in that sense? Now we're on to the final portion of our podcast, which is match recommendation. So this week, Anthony, what is your match recommendation for our viewers and listeners to go and check out?
Excellent. So this will follow very closely my suggestion for who should be unmasked. This match is from NXT TakeOver Portland. It is Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic, who I believe should be unmasked because he is excellent. This match is so good. Their storyline in this feud was good. Keith Lee deserves to be showcased as he was in NXT. Give him some better music. God damn it. It's so jarring to hear like, that's good as glory. And then it's like, oh, what the hell? Like, oh.
Yeah, both of their sort of moves up to the main roster were not going that good.
No, they are not going that well.
I was sort of hoping that like the whole like him and Braun Strowman thing was just going to turn into like Keith Lee turning into a monster and just destroying everybody. But
yeah,
can you believe that Keith Lee's first win on the main roster was he cleanly beat Randy Orton?
Yeah.
And what has happened since then?
And who is the champion right now?
Exactly. I don't know, man.
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know, man. But no, Keith Lee versus Dijakovic, that is an amazing match. They had so many good matches. The rivalry wasn't anything intense or crazy or anything, but it was just like good wrestling.
They work really well together. They have really great chemistry together. They're two big lads that can slap each other around for our entertainment.
Slapping meat.
Slapping meat. Boss fight.
Big men slapping meat. That's what we want in wrestling. Great match. True. It's true. Great match. Go watch it. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of Book It Vince. Again, if you want to send us some questions, we really appreciate it. Please check out some of our other episodes if you haven't already. Last week's episode was with our special guest, Mr. Corey Birch, and that was a fun, wacky one. But yeah, you can follow everything that we do here at UnknownError Films online by searching UnknownError Films or checking us out on Instagram and Twitter at UE_films. You can follow myself online at Barton_Minute. You can follow Mr. Anthony Hall
at Hall and Jokes on Instagram and Twitter.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening or watching. Go check out some wrestling. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Imagine if the Too Sweet just made that sound where it was like every time.
Or